If you're a perfectionist who has trouble trusting others with tasks and decisions but wants to submit, how can one work on that in a mindful way? I'm going to call a duck here. You are mislabeling your issue. You don't have a trust problem. You have a control problem. It has nothing to do with trusting others. It has to do with control. Control makes you feel powerful. Control makes you feel safe. Control is something that's big, 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 big for you. You don't have a trust problem. That's how you are mislabeling it. And if you really want to get through this, you've got to stop mislabeling it as a trust issue. When we give dysfunction a virtuous or noble name, we empower our dysfunction. You are validating your own dysfunction and you're empowering your own dysfunction because you are giving your dysfunction a virtuous name and you actually see the value in being controlling. You don't label it as control. You label it as probably responsible, proactive, successful. But again, whenever you mislabel a dysfunction by a virtuous name, you empower the dysfunction, and that's what you're doing. You have to call a duck a duck. You don't have trust issues, you have control issues, and your control issues are not healthy. They are not responsible. They are not productive. They are not successful. Your control issues are dysfunctional. Perfectionism is dysfunctional. Control is dysfunctional. You really want to know how to nip this? You've got to stop mislabeling those things. And you've got to actually not want those behaviors anymore. See, that's the thing. You want to submit, but you also still want to hold on to this. You have to pick. You have to get to the place where your way of operating is so and off-putting to you, and it's costing you so much peace and so much joy and so much pleasure and so much happiness that you want nothing to fucking do with it anymore. If you really, really love a healthy DS dynamic, then you really, really have to hate any dysfunction that's preventing you from getting it. You're the one that has to call a duck and go, every time I feel pulled to control, I do the opposite behavior. Every time I feel compelled to be perfectionistic about a task, I stop myself and I do the opposite behavior. Are you willing to do that? Mindfully and consistently. That's what it takes. It takes becoming aware of when you get triggered to be dysfunctional and then identifying what behavior that dysfunction wants you to do and then doing the opposite of that dysfunctional behavior. Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to actually appropriately label your dysfunction as dysfunction? Are you willing to no longer tolerate it in any way? And are you willing to actually do the consistent work it takes to fix this? It has nothing to do with anyone else. No one else can do this work for you. And it has nothing to do with anyone else. This is you. And it can be done. Stop mislabeling your dysfunction by virtuous titles and be savage with yourself. Hate the fruit that is currently coming off of your tree. If you want different fruit, you've got to pull the root. But what you're trying to do is, I want to eat different fruit, but not do anything to the tree. It's not possible. It's not possible. Okay? And here's the thing, by being savage with yourself, it's not that you're being savage against yourself. You're being savage for yourself. You're loving yourself so much that you're hating the dysfunction that's keeping you from stepping into your full, supreme, divine identity. In order to love well, we have to hate well. In order for you to love yourself well, you have to hate your dysfunction. Okay. Woo! Oh my goodness.